Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Morning Motivational Rant. I am your host, Dino the Genetic Marvel, and with me, as always, is Crystal Morency. How are you, Crystal?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing today, Dino? I love this. This means fucked.
No, you know what? I've had a good day. It was a good day. No issues or anything. I'm really if you guys were following on, I have a show tomorrow that's happening out in Grand Bend, which I'm very excited for. I shared it on Facebook and everything.
Yay.
I'm very excited about it. It's a 10-minute spot. It's the first thing I've done the whole quarantine. That's only comedy. Just because I wasn't really a fan of the Zoom comedy, like a Zoom conversation. I've done a few.
Don't do it.
Well, yeah, we're gonna talk about that. So it's very difficult. Yeah. Like a little bit of inside baseball is a lot of times people don't realize how important it is to have the right interaction with people. And when you can hear people applaud or go, whoa, or anything, it kind of signals if you should keep going in that avenue or if you should change course. Because sometimes people don't like jokes, right? And that way, like that interaction that is, well, it's auditory and visual, right? It's not necessarily, like, obviously, some people will stand there and go, yo, you suck, right? And that's, obviously you hear that loud and clear. Thankfully, I've never had that before. I have seen it happen, though, and it sucks. So, but that's why I'm like, when somebody reached out, this was booked, I think it must have been December, that somebody said, listen, he said, I usually do these two shows. He does one in July, one in August, and I'm like, thanks, I really appreciate it, because I had done a show up here with that guy, Bill. And we had talked, had a couple conversations. He was funny. I did my best to be funny. I was pretty funny too. I'd like to think so. I think
you were funny.
Shucks.
I assume you were funny.
So, but ultimately, what happened was that he invited me, and I was like, great. And now it's because it's outside of the city. It's even Victoria is coming with me. A few friends are going to come in their own cars. So. Now the thing is I'm a little bit rusty, so I'm kind of like I'm writing out my entire set, and I'm like, oh god, this is brutal, just because
No. I'm sure.
Well, this is the
wonderful.
thing is I have a lot of new material that I've been writing over this period of time, so the thing is what a lot of people don't understand about comedy is that while you get better at when you first start comedy, you have a joke that you've written. And then you perfect it by doing it at open mics and stuff like that. And even other people's feedback of seeing you. Sometimes that can help, having a little collaboration, rewording things, restructuring, or even the placement of the joke in your set. All those things factor in. But that comes with time and experience. You can do that process a lot faster. So you can never completely polish something, but you can get a lot closer to it being completely polished as you gain more experience. So I've been polishing and repolishing some old bits, revamping the whole thing, and now I'm working on order and everything. But the problem is I don't want to do it in front of Victoria, because then she knows what I'm going to say and then she doesn't laugh. But getting her to laugh really means a lot to me, because I love my wife. So yeah, it's now I'm trying to I'm writing it out like word for word, and it's just I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure this is good.
I want to see it bad.
Yeah, I am. I'm bringing my tripod and my camera, and that way we can record it, because it'll be a fun time, right? And even I'm gonna see if we can get our editor to just piece it together. So I'm gonna get Victoria to record me like in the car driving, be like, And but yeah, so
friggin' A, that's so exciting.
I'm excited.
Yay! Dino, you've had so much going on. You should be happier than a pig in shit. Look, what does your shirt say?
My shirt.
All I seen was the popcorn in the
popcorn. So,
do you smell popcorn?
Can see it at home. It says, do you smell popcorn? Which is a joke. Well, it's a joke I used to do where I would say what I like to do is fart silently and then say publicly, like, does anyone else smell popcorn? Because when you do that, everyone goes, and they go, because you farted, right? And then it's that sweet satisfaction because. And I do that specifically because, like, if somebody farts in an elevator, they look here. every time. And I say, I'm like, listen, I'll own up to my own brand. I have no shame about that bag. I'm sorry, everybody, this is going to be a long ride. But, you know, it's not very fair. So I think that's a fair, just desserts to give people is like, oh, you smell popcorn?
It is. I love your evil genius.
Tell ya.
The evil genius in you.
Listen, if we get enough subscribers and people watching this stuff, we can get monetized. I could become a supervillain. This is very possible. I have just the mentality. I'm eloquent like a supervillain. I could put on a British accent. I could do it very excitingly. It's very droll, you see. It could work. It could work. I could be the world's supervillain. I could be an evil Elon Musk. I think so. I may not be as smart as him, but I'm crafty. Yeah. Elon Musk is a bad breakup away from being a supervillain. Seriously, he's got like way too much money and power. It scares me.
No, because I am gonna mend his heart. When C breaks up with this one, I'm gonna mend his heart. So he's fine. He is not gonna be a supervillain.
He endorsed Kanye for president, and
oh God, fuck it!
Hey,
Come on, shh, I don't want to hear it.
Within like 48 hours, he's like, apparently we did not have the same opinion on things. Maybe I did this too rashly, and you're like, you think, guy? Like seriously? And you know what? Like I've been cracking inappropriate jokes about this all day long, and it's just because it's like now there's been a tweet that went out that Kanye's family is very worried about him because he's having a manic episode, and you're like, right now.
He had a breakdown not that long ago.
He's in the constant state of breakdown.
Like,
he's in constant state of breakdown, okay? One minute he's like, I owe $43 million. Mark Zuckerberg, give me $1 billion so I can mend everything. You're like, what is happening? And then, you know, I remember there was a video where they were outside of his house trying to take pictures. And he went to the car, the garage opens, and they're like, good morning, Kanye. He's like, fuck you. And they're like, okay. And you're like, yeah, listen, they're paparazzi, right? They're going to get that kind of stuff. But like, dude, they're literally pointing a camera and saying, good morning. And he goes, fuck you. And you're like, that's not really, that's not a stable response, I think. I don't know.
No. There was this thing I remember on that show, the gossip channel show, like TMZ, I think it's called, where they do all the celebrities and everything. And this was, it might have been a long time ago, and I always lose track of time, but I remember him having like a mental breakdown and then making excuses for him and all this stuff. And when he went to go see Trump and he was wearing the red hat, everybody's like, oh, he's having a mental break.
Listen,
and that's what's wrong. And
Kim Kardashian met with Trump. Like, this is terrifying. And
well, she was doing to get people out of jail and stuff. Like, she's working really hard in the jail systems with the...
She is not a good person, okay? Listen, she's not a good person. Listen, I'm all for somebody trying to be themselves, and, you know, they're master marketers.
She got famous for porn, for fuck's sake.
And listen, and you know what?
Fuck, I wish I fucked that good.
We just all know she doesn't know how to suck dick, okay? That's what we know, okay? She's no Paris Hilton when she sucks dick, okay? Right, like,
I know. Paris Hilton.
You know,
Paris Hilton.
She went for it. She went for it.
That's a good girl.
Know? She even did like a little, you know? Kim, no effort.
She was in
Kim
it to
was
win
no
it.
effort.
She's like, I'm not too pretty to do it. She's like, let my makeup run.
A horrible thing that we're talking about. Just so everyone's very clear, this is absolutely horrible, and we're just joking, but it is funny. If you're not laughing,
it's better than what we have been talking about lately.
It's been a little emotional. It's been a little bit of a rocky road the last couple days.
Yeah, really.
And guys,
that's why I think we should start investigating shit again.
You know what?
Like, how we get out of ourselves. We are too fucked up to talk about ourselves. We need to start talking about
I can't say that we're not. I can't say that we're not. And that's why it's like there's a lot of stuff being leaked right now. And I'm not sure if you've seen this. Have you been on? I know you were busy today. We're doing a nighttime record, even though we said good morning, because we're loading in the morning, and you should watch it in the morning, and that's what's fine. Anyways, so I know you had a busy day and everything. Have you been on Facebook recently? Okay, so it's one of the things that has been getting traction is that you know, Wayfair. Wayfair is like a mail-in furniture type store, so you can buy like lamps, couches, all sorts of cool stuff.
For super expensive.
Not just super expensive. They've been, so you know those, they're steel cabinets. They're fire retardant. They're very, very sturdy cabinets. And they are quite expensive. They're about $1,000 a piece. However, right now on Wayfair, they've been advertised for like around 15 to, like, I think, no, it's $13,000 to $17,000 to sell them. And the name of the product is, when you reverse search it, the names are people who are missing. Yeah, so there's a Reddit that is saying that it's a human trafficking scheme. Like, that's what they're selling. Yeah, it's really fucked up. And Wayfair's
Wow.
like, well,
No,
and
I
that's the
didn't
thing
see
is
that at
Wayfair.
all.
So I didn't know this until recently. Was Wayfair, Walmart, Amazon allows you to post products through their website fulfilled by a third party. And so you don't get the commitment of like Amazon delivery, and so you have to be careful. So like when I ordered my trimmer at the beginning of quarantine, because I was like, listen, we're in quarantine, I need a trimmer to get rid of my beard. I didn't realize that when I ordered it, it was through Walmart's website, but not fulfilled by Walmart themselves. So it took a significantly longer period of time for me to get it. Now, that being said, so apparently Wayfair has said, no, that's not true. This isn't a human trafficking scheme. We've contacted the supplier to find out why the prices are different from other products. And they gave a whole, a very politically correct statement to excuse any wrongfulness on their part. But when you look at it, you're going, listen, it's not like those cabinets are cheap. They are expensive, but we're talking about it's a cabinet.
Yeah.
You're not going to pay $15,000. You pay $15,000 for a safe, okay? And that's a large safe. You don't pay $15,000 for a cabinet, okay? Even the best fire retardant cabinet, you're not paying that kind of amount. It's usually around like anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500, maybe $2,000, maybe $5,000. But not 15. That's a very expensive it doesn't make any sense. And there's multiple, and the names are to people who have been missing for months. So it's like, this is some really fucked up shit. And shout out to Dmitry Goryenko, who has been he researches the fuck out of stuff. And you know what? Like, he really takes the time. So he doesn't upload very often with big things, but what he finds and he's researched, he does upload. And shout out to him. Hopefully we'll have him on when all this business with quarantine ends. No, because
awesome.
And you know what, he's a really good guy, but he actually takes the time to break things down and say, listen, and the last video he did, he even said, he's like, allegedly to protect himself, because you know what, he digs deep into things, but of course, no one's going to stand there, oh, you know what, you found me out, Dimitri. Nobody's going to do that, right? So he has to protect himself, which is completely reasonable.
Yeah.
But, he brings this kind of stuff out, and I applaud him for his diligence and taking that time to research things, because we're living in a very, very scary period of time. I don't think that people understand, like, we talked about this, I think it was earlier this week, maybe last week, how everyone has a threshold of what they're willing to believe. And when you hear these conspiracy theories, quote unquote, some of them are so outlandish that you're like, well, no, that's crazy, right? But then others, what they'll do is they do this pile-on with the kind of like, well, that's a little believable, that's kind of believable, and you're kind of following their train of thought. But there's a time when they hit that limit and they're going, it can't be real, right? Like, and that's why it's like one of the things that we talked about was how on the flight log for Epstein's plane was people were like, Bill Clinton's on there 26 times, it's crazy, but then somebody's like, oh, but Beyonce's on there, and everyone's like, nah, Beyonce could not be involved, and you're going,
yeah,
we don't, and that's why it's not about an allegation of what they've done. It's an allegation that they were a party to in some way, shape, or form. Maybe they were just a passenger, okay, but how do you not know? And now there's so much more news coming out, because a lot of
easy on the Beyonce. All the single ladies. All the single ladies. All the single ladies. Put your hands up.
So along with not being able to do impressions, Crystal can't sing. Who knew?
at all. We've clarified this. This is why I'm not an actress. Dino's the actor.
I'm a very qualified pretender. That's what I like to think of myself as. I'm not a good actor. I can just be the many facets of Dino. I can be one of those, but I'm not really capable to be like, I'm not going to do Shakespeare because my memory's shit and it's just, But,
yeah, the roles that I would get cast for, I really don't want. Like, I've been there and lived them, so I'm good.
I definitely just spit water out onto myself, so that was fun. That's you know what? It's very.
So let's talk about fun stuff. Just because we've had such a serious week and everything's so serious right now, and I think everybody's so angry right now. So if we talk about something fun and something exciting and something cool, which I'm trying to think of something
there's
really.
There's been a lot of progress in the field of medicine with regards to a cure for coronavirus, so that's always a positive thing.
That's positive. That's a positive
thing. The funny thing is,
thing.
I'm not.
Unless you watch the creepy videos.
Well, Bill Gates, you keep your virus away from me. Keep your virus away. Yeah. One of the things actually, it's quite funny. CNN criticized or made a lot of accusations in the beginning about Donald Trump taking hydrochloroquine, saying the dangers of him taking this and what you don't know. And then more recently, they released an article that says that in a study of hydrochloroquine, it cured or it reduced the time frame of people's suffering from coronavirus by like significantly. So it's like, so either you guys are morons or not. I'm not really sure, but it's very, very perplexing when you see these kind of things. I'm not. I don't really know. I think our Zoom conversation is frozen, so I'm just going to keep on talking.
And
I'm not really sure what's happening here.
I can hear him too.
I think
he
it's
thinks
me.
I'm frozen. He's not sure what's happening, but he's frozen like this. There he is.
There we go. Look at that. It only took a few seconds. I think it might be on my side.
There we go. We were here the whole time.
No, you know what? Could you hear any of it?
You were frozen like this.
See, that's
I could hear you. I think she's frozen, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what's going on happening anyways. And then you were like this.
That's the face I make when someone tries to hit me with their car. It's like, hey! Because then their car gets destroyed and I don't. I bounce. It's pretty...
And you get insurance money, or you get lots of money because they hit you.
I'd take that. I would accept that.
Now you can buy that gold chain. What's up?
I always, so I want one of those big gold chains. I don't know why. I will probably never wear it.
I know.
But I want one of those like beefy. You see there are guys on like rap videos that have like it's a coil and it's like that thick of gold going around their neck. I'm like that's the kind of chain I want. That's the if anyone wants to give that.
That's the kind of chain you need.
I think that would display my authority. Just with some big ass glasses. Not like clown glasses, like just,
If I ever get a boob job, Dino, and I become one of those Instagram whores, then I will buy you a big gold chain with a Darth Vader emblem
That's
on
awesome.
it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, right?
No,
You're welcome.
That'd be cool.
I got you.
I'm in. See,
that's a thank you gift.
You know what? Let me be a little inappropriate here and misogynistic, but I've been noticing this trend. Okay, so listen, I'm a pervert like anyone else, and I see boobs I like, no problem. I'm gonna follow you on Instagram because hey, I'm all good. I'm all up for a free show. Not a real, So, but.
That makes I'm like, what?
Listen, a free show, I'm always up for it. But what I've noticed, there's a significant trend of people who are getting attention for provocatively posing, which, hey, I'm all for it. And then they start making posts about like politics and stuff, and I'm like, I'm not really here for that. Like, You know, and I'm like, am I the asshole?
Well, that's how
Well,
they
that's the
get
thing
you.
is, like, am I being a piece of shit here? Like, I don't think I'm wrong. I'm like, no.
No, they're like, here's my tits.
Well, like, and that's why I'm like, I'm thinking
Trump?
this is like, we have an agreement here. I give you likes and comments. You show me a provocative pose showing some cleavage. That's a fair deal. I think that's a fair exchange. But now you start trying to convince me about political things, and I'm like, that's...
Now you want me to listen
that's
to you?
not-
Listen
that's
to
not
your
what we agreed
comment.
on.
You're like,
You know?
actually,
And that's...
you're like, actually, I clicked on your tits and now you want me to
Yeah,
actually
like,
listen
listen.
to you? I think that's just going a little too far because you're simply the
Listen.
Instagram whore. Do you listen to yourself, Dino?
Well, no, and that's why, like, I don't want to, I'm not saying that they shouldn't have a political opinion. That's not what I'm saying. They have every right to. But there are other platforms for that I think that's completely reasonable. But the exchange that we've agreed upon,
I think it's smart.
well, I don't know. I don't think it's very fair. You know, and maybe that's me being an idiot.
You get them in the door. You get them in the door, and then you sell your product, which your product was not your body. It was with
No,
the
because
sale
as soon as that
sign.
starts,
It was just a fancy red
As soon as
flag
that
in
starts-
front. That's all it was. It was one of those wavy guys in front of the store.
Oh,
It was just boobs are just one of those wavy guys in front of the store. And then, so the hot girl is just one of those wavy guys in front of the store, and then really it's somebody, it could not even be her that's putting up the political stuff. That could be pictures of some
That's
other
horrible.
girl. And then she's just like, this is
That's
my
so bad.
thoughts. But you can't hate on her for having a mind
no,
and
no,
tits.
and that's I'm not.
Like,
You know what? I can applaud a mind and nice boobs. I'm all for it. But then let's make
I'm
that.
jealous
Well,
of it.
let's make that contract. You say, hey, yes, I'm going to show you provocative pictures, but I'm also going to say some stuff, and it's like, then
So you be sexy and smart.
absolutely, and hey, I'm all for that too. But if that's our arrangement, then let's knowingly get into that arrangement. That's fine. Like, look, if
You're like, our arrangement. Did you guys have a deep conversation where she was like,
interestingly enough,
Dino, listen, you like my page. I'm just going to show you pure
Listen.
today. I promise I won't speak my mind. I don't
No.
even have a mind. I'm just here for your
no
visual
way.
purposes.
And that's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm saying is this, and actually, interestingly enough, there's one very, very attractive lady, and I will regularly like her stuff, and I'll just go back, you know, thumbs up and be like, nice, as a comment, because now I believe that comments are actually...
You can't say anything to anybody.
but comments are regarded better than just likes and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, I have no problem with that. That's a fair, you know, that's a fair expectation. That's the agreement. And then, so one of them,
That's the agreement. Why do you keep saying that's the agreement?
It's a contract, right? It's a non-verbal contract, right? Now, but one of them messaged me and was like, so, how are you doing? And I'm like, no. I was just like, what is happening here? So I like waited like 3 days, and I just responded like, I'm fine, how are you? And there hasn't been another response, thankfully, because I was like, what the fuck?
You waited the 3 days to see him. You didn't want to be the one that was too
Well, no,
pushy.
but it just freaked. I was
Sounds like
I
a
was
date.
scared.
I waited 3 days to call her back because it was
Well,
just weird.
like, I'm paranoid because I know that I'm not smart. Okay, like I know as soon as a top comes off, I'm like, "Bleh," like any other man. Okay, I'm aware of this, so I'm very hesitant. As soon as somebody says, "How are you?" and I'm like, that sounds sketchy. I don't think we're interested in this.
Wait a second, the tits
Yeah.
spoke.
And this is
Tits
this
spoke.
is
What happened there? Those tits weren't
this
supposed
is not
to speak.
our social contract. I have a hard time with that, and you know.
Those tits spoke. What the
And
fuck
that's the
were
thing
they
is,
thinking?
listen, and like I said, I'm like, I'm okay with having an opinion. There's no, absolutely, I encourage it. But then let's start on that foot. Let's say, hey, like there's a couple that they say some weird stuff, but they're very, very attractive. And I'm like, you know what? I will read what you post because I went into this knowing that you were going to post some weird shit, but also have naked pictures. That's fair. That is, we have an understanding that we are both aware of, and we can proceed accordingly. It's like going into.
In all honesty, that's probably why I have about 4,000 of my friends is probably on Facebook is because they just want. I don't post provocative pictures, though. Although the selfie I took today, I felt so proud. I'm like, look at me, I feel pretty. And you're right. Within 2 hours, I had more likes than we had on her.
You know what? And she posted.
And it wasn't even a provocative picture.
She posted a bunch of pictures that I had no
I don't
problem.
Have tits, so
you posted a bunch of stuff that I was like, no problem liking people you're hanging out with.
Yeah.
And then there was a picture of like, hey, and I was like, oh. I'm like, is this creepy? Am I okay?
Everybody
I
liked
did
it.
like it. I did like it after
did.
review, but I was like, I'm not sure how this is gonna come across. I want to be supportive, not a weird creepo.
Oh, but it wasn't a
It's
sexy,
not the point.
picture.
I don't
have like that sexual image. Although I was going to post one where the bottom of my boobs looked like they were hanging out, and I'm like, ooh, that's not good.
Well,
I was like, ooh. I didn't notice it till I almost pressed post, too, and I'm like, oh, wait a second.
Yeah, hey,
Oops.
listen,
There's a
if
whole
you
lot of
show a little bit of
on there.
under titty and side titty, guys freak out. I'll tell you that right now. It's. Listen,
yeah, but I can't put that on like my social
I'm
media.
not saying you. I'm not saying you should. What I'm saying is more so men. Okay,
Yeah.
so the same way where you'll stand up to try and look at my shirt on camera, men will see a side boob or under boob and go on their phone because we're stupid. We're very dumb, and that's why you're like, listen. I always like.
I should send it because it does make me feel good, all those compliments. I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm a compliment whore.
Pretty.
I'm like, please, absolutely. I haven't been hit on in so long.
Well, and the last person that did, it didn't go that well. So, let's... I'm sorry. That wasn't nice. Say, hey...
Please, you're going to give me
He was a nice guy
no,
with great intentions and no ill will.
It was awesome.
No ill will. He was a nice person. And we wish him the best.
I'm just fucked up and I'm gonna die alone.
That's not
so
true.
It's fine. It's
Listen,
cool.
technically everyone dies alone. If everyone else is living, you die alone. That's how that works. I don't know. I don't. See, this is the weird part. I had somebody. So when I was doing that commercial the other night, one guy was like, "Hey, are you one of those smokers that's constantly trying to quit?" And I just kind of looked at him. I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Oh, so you're just like whatever?" I'm like, "Dude." If my body hasn't killed me yet, now it's a race. I'm like, let's see what's gonna do it. I'm like, drugs, booze, smoking. I don't know. It's maybe a car, maybe a big 18-wheeler. Just I can take it. Let's go for it, right? I'm living on borrowed time as it is. So hey, let's fuck with shit. I don't care. But no.
Everybody's got a purpose and a time.
Yeah, well, it's out of our hands. I think a lot of people.
Exactly.
And you know what? And it comes back to that whole thing. Like I am very cautious in what I say and what I do, and what actions I take. For the specific fact that I don't want to be misrepresented or misquoted in any way, shape, or form. Now, that being said, there are advantages to taking chances and going for things, right? I've never really been that way. I've been more cautious, stick with the plan, and go. Like I know a lot of friends that I used to work with when I worked at a bank that would move jobs every couple of years or so, and or move companies. And I was with the same company for over 15 years. I even got a watch for it, and then got fired right afterward. So it's it's a weird thing where it's like. I don't like that kind of stuff.
And nothing is right or wrong either way.
No, my way is antiquated. It is antiquated because I was more capable.
For you.
Yeah, absolutely for me. I could have seen a lot more benefit and growth if maybe I had followed the process of other people where they were going to different institutions and they were battling between each other to get raises and do better. But I was content. So it's one of those weird things that,
Or it's whatever works for you, right? Like that might have been okay for them, and you could have found maybe a happy medium. Maybe you would have switched up between a couple different places, then all of a sudden you found your place. That you got to do what makes you happy, no matter what. Like if it's staying in the same job for 25 years because you really love that company and you believe in that company and you want that company to grow, great, do that. If you don't feel that you're set somewhere and that you want to move on, you want to explore, you want to see what else is out there, great, do that too. Everything's okay. There's no wrong answer.
That was the big problem for myself is when my dad passed, it really affected me significantly. And it still does. Like it still has an effect on me. But at that point, my perspective changed in a lot of ways in that, and this is actually, so I was in a meeting and I said that I had reached my target and they said, well, we'd like you to get a higher target so that we can review you better. And because I had, the terms were met expectations and exceeded expectations, and I had met expectations, and they said, well, we kind of expect you to exceed expectations. And my response, this was after my dad died, and it really explains where my head was at. And I go, it's funny because you pay me to meet expectations. Anything more than that is at my will. And they were kind of like, what? And I go, yeah, no, you have no right to ask more of what expectations are from me. Anything more than that is at my discretion. And they were like, so you don't want to exceed expectations? I'm like, that's not what I said. I'm saying you have no right to ask that of me. You compensate me to meet expectations, no more, no less. And that was kind of where things started to turn, and people were like, what? And I'm like, yeah, fuck you people. Like, and that's why it wasn't, it happened for a reason and everything. There was a lot going on, but that's the thing is, a lot of people don't realize this, is companies don't really give a shit anymore, right? And that's why it's people who really enslave themselves to an employer, they really aren't thinking about you the same way, and you deserve better. You deserve, as a human being, even if you're a moron, okay? If you're a moron, lazy, and a shit worker, you still deserve better than most employers will offer you. And I know that sounds very jaded, and to a degree it is. It's also really frustratingly and disappointingly true. And that's what really bothers me the most, is that people try and say, oh, like I remember every year at the bank, it didn't matter what review I got, when it came time to say what bonuses were, the first thing that would come out of people's mouth was, well, the bank had a rough year. No, the bank never has a rough year, just so you know. The bank, the worst years in all of the economy, the bank has done very well. You know why? Because of the goddamn bank. That's it. It's that simple.
Guess at what they're doing now.
But look, that's okay. So I was talking about this. I'm like, listen, I worked for 15 years. I got pension money. It's locked up, and I have to wait until I'm an old fart. God willing, I reach that age, but that I can access it. And I'll tell you right now, while the entire economy is going to shit and fuck, my pension is taking off. I'm like, yeah, this is completely inaccurate. Nothing makes any sense anymore. So it doesn't really work. People aren't realizing what their worth is. And that's why, like, these protests that we're seeing and people fighting for the right, I support it absolutely. We deserve better. As a people, we deserve to be treated. The minimum wage, remember, the minimum wage was originally created so that one person could live in a household and provide for a household. Now, I'm not saying you're going to become rich on minimum wage, but it should be enough to pay for a household. You should be able to feed your children and put a roof over your head with one income. And that is impossible right now. And that's not fair. It's not right.
Oh, God, yeah.
It's just...
I remember when I first started bartending, this is maybe just a few years ago. Okay, a lot of years ago. It was only $2.90 an hour is what I was making. Like, it was $2.90 an hour.
And then, because you made tips. Because I remember when I was a waiter, so when I was a waiter,
I made,
it was $4.85.
Which I made awesome tips
as
at
a waiter.
The time,
it was $4.85, and then you get tips. But you still had to pay out a portion to go to managers, to go to the cook staff, and everything like that, right? Because those guys didn't get tips. So you have to
the last place I was
right? So
Yeah, the last place that I was bartending at before this COVID, I was only making $10 an hour. Plus, I had to tip. I never made money there because it wasn't busy. I paid to be there more often. Like, and he still owes me a week. By the way, hey, you. Like,
this is, and you know what? And on that note, it's like, listen, if they like time,
but times were tough,
but you know what?
and I'm
times
sure,
weren't tough when you worked, so you deserve to get paid. Sorry, that's not fair.
No,
you deserve to get paid. Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. And I did everything.
I remember.
There. Like, I never got paid for those.
She ran a show and was serving, and I'm like, that's a bad idea. And she's like, I'm just hosting. I'm like, that doesn't make it better.
No,
that
I
makes
didn't do
worse.
it on the next one.
She did do a good job.
Yeah, no, I didn't end up doing it on the next one.
Yeah, I don't know. You know what? This is the thing. Is the whole idea of. I think it's a perspective thing where people look at retail staff or people in a service industry as lower class, not lower class, but like beneath them. And you're like, that's really, number one, you're a shitty person if you think of that. And number two, it's just wrong. Okay, because it's just false. It's not it's not justified. It's not fair, and that's why like there are some people. Look, I remember working with a few women who were waitresses. That was their.
Where would you spend all your fancy money?
Well, no. This is the thing: is they were working, and that was their job because it worked with their family situation or whatever, and it worked, and they were very good at their vocation. But I was a shit waiter. I was the worst. Okay, but I was pretty and I could hustle, right? And they needed one guy to clean out the guy's bathroom and throw out garbage. That was always fun. So. But like that's just it, and you're like, okay, but that doesn't mean that they don't deserve fair compensation, and it bothers the shit out of me that people think this. Like, have you seen? There's a picture going around that some lady went to a restaurant and brought her own bell to ring for staff, and I'm like, I wouldn't just throw that bell out the window. I would throw her and whoever she's with out the fucking window.
Oh, that woman be asked to leave.
That's period fucking dot. If you
that's not okay.
Hey, garçon, get the fuck out. Okay, ringing a bell, get the fuck out.
Yep.
Excuse me, get the fuck out.
I had a guy that came when I was managing Reebok in Cookstown. I had a guy that came in my Rockport store because it was Reebok, Rockport, and Greg Norman. And he came in my Rockport store and he wanted a deal on already discounted shoes. And because I wouldn't give him the deal, well, the girl wouldn't give him, I wouldn't give him the deal. The girl that was working, she had to call me. And then I was the last resort. And he's like, well, I want to speak to your manager. And I am.
Which is,
I don't know what to tell you.
It's delicious when you can pull that. It's so good.
And then, I've done it lots and it's been great because being a woman and being a powerhouse, I've had people like, because I've owned my own shop and they wouldn't sell me supplies because I'm a woman.
How is that?
And it's
How is that fucking possible?
Because they're like, oh, can I talk to your boss? And I'm like, I am the boss. Well, because sometimes they're not from the, like in their society, sometimes women aren't in charge. So they just won't deal with you. Well, and that's the thing, like women have just recently been able to do a lot, and we just recently like it's been a lot, like women still can't do shit, like a lot of
women
women
are significantly more capable than most men. I will okay.
Well, it depends.
No.
Like, I think that we shouldn't put a barrier on it. It's just everybody's got their own different skills. Everybody's got their own different capabilities and stuff. Women are better at the service industry. We're better at that because of the fact that we're more people-oriented. That's why, like, we're not as likely to fire somebody harshly. We're more likely to give them a chance, if somebody has like a maternity leave, we're more likely to be more considerate and stuff, like that's why men, and it's just the way it is. And people can't fuck with just nature. You're gonna fuck with all the, like, just the way that you're gonna just change it all, just be like, oh, I don't like the way that is, therefore I don't want it that way. It's like, well, we just gotta, women can't lift 500. Most women are not built physically. I tried to do demolition work. I cried at the end of every shift. I did it. I showed up, but I bawled my eyes out because I'm not physically, and I'm strong, and I'm not physically able to do that work. And that's just
let's be very clear.
We're not built that way.
I got tired standing.
We can't be sperm donors either. Like, fuck, like, when is that? When are we gonna start fighting to be sperm donors? Like, fuck, like, I don't know.
That's.
When is that gonna be a thing? That was one of my new ones, by the way. Do you like it?
Fantastic. I'm pretty sure
you.
every woman in the world hates you for saying it, but it was fucking hilarious. Okay. You know what? Actually, so I've noticed this. I say okay, and apparently this is a bad symbol now. So I apologize. It's just a bad habit. I'm trying to break it. No, seriously. People are like,
why is this okay? Why is that wrong? Why now? What is this?
I'm not sure.
Tell me what the new
I'm not sure what it
now.
is. I believe the illusion was like it's like 3 6s, like that. It's a symbol of hate kind of thing. I don't.
And who pointed that out? Who pointed that out? Because whoever pointed that out, whoever smelt it, dealt
you know what?
it. Hasn't anybody ever heard of this
Let's just say I saw it somewhere on the internet, so it's got to be true. Let's put it that way. It was on the internet. It was definitely true.
It's gotta
100%. No one lies on the internet, people. No one person.
Whoever smelt it, dealt it. They're the ones
Whoever
that
denied
that.
it, supplied
Who
it.
thinks like that?
Whoever denied it, supplied it, people. That's what we're playing here. No.
I would never think of that.
Well,
that person's evil.
So
that person.
The funny thing is,
that.
when
like, fuck. Who thinks of that shit?
Listen,
like,
when you scuba dive and somebody wants to check how you're doing, that's the symbol. So, because this means I need to go up, whereas this means I'm okay.
Yeah.
That's what it's.
This means okay,
so,
dude.
And
that's what I thought it meant. Or
well, that's how, it's like, you got any, right? And that's why I'm like, this doesn't mean sucking dick. This is, do you have any weed? I want to smoke some weed. That's what, smoke some weed.
Yeah.
But.
Unless it's a really tiny dick.
No, not even if it's a tiny dick. I'm not sucking the dick. I don't care how big the dick is. I'm not sucking the dick, okay? I'm not interested in sucking dick. Not for money, not for nudes, not for anybody. Okay? I don't. And listen, if you suck dick, that's fine. Hey, all good for you. That's just not my personal preference. I'm not really interested. But you guys have fun with it, by all means. That's fair. That's fair.
He likes being slapped in the face with it, though.
I definitely don't want to be slapped in the face by any size dick. A dick that could smack me in the face, I'm thinking, I don't want to see that. Because that seems a little bit grandiose. Honestly, a little intimidating. I'm a grower, not a shower, so that's not my forte. It's just not what I do.
Ooh, I love those ones. Because it's like a surprise. It's like,
I love my wife. I love my wife, okay?
Guess who came out to the party? No, I know, but it's fun.
I'm not just telling you, I'm telling them. I'm telling them I love my wife, okay? I love my wife. I've been tagging your videos with I love my wife, I love my wife, I love my wife, because I'm just like, I love my wife. This is the problem that I find, like, it's not...
I am not accomplice with Crystal. I am not an accomplice with Crystal.
She'll straight up fucking kill you. You don't know. Crystal's fantastic.
No, I mean for the stuff I say. You're saying that you're not an accomplice of mine for the shit that comes out of my mouth.
No, but that's the thing. It's like, and especially like there have been times when I've gotten attention from very attractive women, and it makes me really uncomfortable because they're trying. So, and I've told you about this, how it's like I don't like being hugged just because I don't understand the social contract. Where I'm like, I don't want to be touched, so don't touch me. And people,
because you're trying to put a contract on it. That's what you don't.
I'll tell you why, and that's because I don't want people to feel uncomfortable around me. Like right now, I am in a happy, heavenly world where no one's coming within 2 meters of me. That's perfect. That is exactly what I like. Don't come close to me, and I am A-okay with that. So when people hug me, I'm like, I don't understand what you're trying to do, and that's why I'm like, I don't want people to feel that I'm encroaching on their personal space, and as well, I don't know what they're trying to get out of me. So that's why I'm like, I don't want somebody to feel uncomfortable either. Because honestly, if let's, as an example, okay, let's say I saw you at a comedy show, you didn't know I was going to go there, so I come up behind you, I grab you around the waist, lift you up off the ground, and go, hi!
Ooh, not okay.
No, it's not fucking okay. It's definitely not fucking okay. Why the fuck would you do that? Okay, that's why
Have you not heard my fucking sets?
Listen, and the funny thing is that at my size, you can't do anything. Okay, and you who are extremely feisty and rambunctious still can't do anything because I'll pick you up with one fucking arm and just go, hey, and there's nothing you can say. That's not okay, and that's why I'm like, hello. You listen. I'm working on a bit about how the death of the handshake, what we're seeing right now, and it's like I've spent so many years perfecting the handshake. Like it has to be assertive but not aggressive. It has to be manly but not misogynistic. It has to be considerate but not aloof. It has to be.
I have a great handshake.
You actually do. You do have a good handshake.
I've worked on mine.
Well, that's the thing is now it's.
I know. I like shaking people's hand because I've had to be my power. Right? Well, then to show your power.
Exactly.
And
it shows that you're business minded and authoritative, and like there's a lot of information that gets conveyed. And now this skill set is gone. It no longer has a place in the world because you can't touch people, right? And the worst, I'll tell you right now, people who don't take off a glove to shake your hand, you disgust me, and you're a piece of dog shit. Now, though, we're not allowed to shake hands, so be it. You wear your gloves. But before, if we're inside and you left your gloves on, you're a piece of shit. Okay? That's not how that works. You have to, if you're going to shake hands, it has to be palm to palm, skin to skin, and no licking. That's disgusting. That's
ball sacking.
Definitely not. Women. So I've seen women make jokes about that. How they're like, one girl I saw it. I think it's she's an Irish comedian. She's quite funny. She's a little bit wonky, but she's funny. And she was saying how she was at a bus stop when she was younger, and she saw a guy lift his pants up, put his hand down his pants, move things around, take it out, and then go, "Hey, how are you?" to somebody else. And the guy was like, "Hey," with no problem. And I'm like, if I saw somebody go hands down the pants, I'd be like, dude, just get the fuck out. Just get the fuck out. Because that's a guy who shits and wipes his ass with his own hand and then cleans his hand off. You are a disgusting person, okay? And that's why I'm just like, no, it's horrible. That's why I'm like, that's why I'm in a high place. And I don't understand the social contract. And like I said, there have been women who are very attractive, oh, hey, and hug me. Some of them even close friends. And I'm just like, please stop touching me. Because look at Crystal, you're an attractive lady. And the first time she's like, hey, she contacted me. She's like, hey, can I get some advice? Now, and I was like, sure, listen, I'm going to the show. Are you going to be there? Yes, I said, okay. I'm going to be there a couple minutes early. We can talk then. When she did, she was sitting in a booth and she's like, hey. And I'm like, hi. I stopped the hug, I remember. But then she was like, oh, do you want to sit with me? And I'm like, no, I'm good standing. No problem. Because I'm like, I don't know what social contract is happening. She's new to comedy. She's buttering me up for something. It was a fair conversation. Yeah, I don't know what's happening, right?
Something.
Yeah,
just nice.
And it turned out she was just being nice. And I gave her some good advice. It was like, listen, people are going to hate you. I said, people are going to hate you. Don't worry about it. Just do your hustle. You are funny. You're fine. You just need work. Just practice. You just need practice. And she was kind of like, yeah, that's it. And I'm like, yeah, you're fine. Don't worry about it. And she was kind of like, okay.
He was awesome. Like, Dino was the reason why I kept wanting to go. Like, he was at my second show, I think it was, and that's when I had asked him, and it was just. I think that was. I felt like he made me feel like I was welcome.
Well, I try not to. So the only time I'm not welcoming to comics, this is, you know what? This is a rule and etiquette for some people. When I arrive, it's my duty as the new arrival to go and shake hands or greet the people that have already arrived. Okay? That's the social contract. When you arrive, it is not my job as someone who is already present to come to you to say hello. That's not how that works. You're the new person, you go and greet people. And there are a lot of people who would walk in and say hi to their friends, but not all the comics. And that's well within your right. It's no problem. But then don't come to me and say, oh, well, that guy never talks to me. No, it's because you don't know how to talk with people in a reasonable way, and or you do not follow the social contract that we have all agreed upon. So that is not my problem. You're a dipshit, okay? Read a book, figure it out. Maybe not be a piece of shit, and maybe we'll be okay. But other than that, go fuck yourself. I don't know. It really bothers me when people take those kind of liberties. Like, it's just so, like, because I have put in time and effort to learn this shit. And I think everyone who is going to be to some degree of a public eye, they should try and be cordial with people and know what the social contract and social etiquette is. That's fine. I remember a story about JFK, how other people, he was elected president, and people that were at his dinner table got pissed off at him because while he's eating, he started kind of gesturing with his knife and fork. And that's very rude. It's very rude to do. And the people that he was eating with were very hoity-toity government type people. And you're like, that's the thing, is those things, they're worth learning, and then you adapt to whatever environment because you're prepared. But just completely disregarding it and be like, well, I just do whatever I want, man, because that's your system. No, you're just garbage. You're a garbage person. Just live that way. Stop hogging me! No, I don't. Hi. Yeah, so that's what I've been talking about.
Hi.
Crystal's been silent for very long. I'm not sure what's happening here. I feel like I might be attacked. There might be a ninja behind me. I'm not sure. She's like waiting. Like it's like Mike Myers is just gonna like push his head up like it's not gonna be a good thing. I don't know.
No, it's just
sorry. Yeah. It's a little bit. I've talked a lot today. I'm sorry. I apologize not giving you your fair share.
No, it's fine. You talk, and it's good to get your expressions out and get how you feel about things and how you see how things should be done.
I am a bag of emotions.
It's good to get that out.
Emotions, people.
It's good to get out how you see that society should be lived and stuff. It's good to let that out. It's good how you should see that how people should conversate and how they should act. It's good to let your opinion out.
That makes me sound like such an asshole. So, apparently I'm an asshole. Apparently I'm an asshole, and...
No, you're
sorry,
not. I
piece
just
of
said
shit.
that it's good
I'm a piece of shit asshole.
Stuff.
Thanks a lot. With my nose in the
I
air.
Never said that at all.
I'm all dainty with my manners. Bullshit. I am right, goddammit.
I think definitely people should treat people how they want to be treated. Definitely.
People don't do enough of that.
Don't be a fucking idiot. Be yourself and don't be an idiot. Like, you can be yourself, because guess what? If you're yourself, then you're not faking it, and you're not trying to be an asshole, you're not trying to be rude, blah blah blah. You're just being yourself, and that's cool. And people will like it. Stop worrying about all these rules. Because there's no rules.
To a degree,
there's no wrong way.
Don't worry about the rules. Some rules you need to worry about, but others, yes, they're at your discretion.
Yeah, there is rules. Like, there's being courteous to other people. Being human beings. That's the number one rule.
Do you think that line has been muddied so much that we don't know anymore?
No, I think because everybody tries to make it their own way that we don't know anymore. Because everybody tries to put limitations on what being yourself actually means and stuff, and being courteous actually means. So I think just human decency goes a long way, right? And human decency is so incredibly different that it has to be looked at in so many different ways. And I think every single way should be appreciated, because every single way is somebody's way. And we can't depreciate anybody's way.
You know what I love about this is the fact that the previous video that people watched is where Chris was like, no, that's not right. And she gave me shit because I'm like, no, you have to be considerate of other people's perspective. And now she's like, hey, everyone's different. This is why you shouldn't get high during a podcast. No.
We'll say it's that.
I'm just joking. No, but you're right. You're right. Listen, people.
His dick face mask is tight today.
It's because I was wearing a mask. That's why. It's all tight. It's all tight and sticky. No.
It's all tight.
So gross. All right. Well, we are at about time. Morning motivation. What should we rant about?
Yeah.
Be true to thyself. It's a great saying that is extremely difficult to keep in the front of your mind. A lot of people don't believe in themselves enough, and it's not easy. That's hands down. It's a difficult thing to go through.
No, especially with the world
Absolutely.
telling you that you're not.
Absolutely. Listen, if people had it,
to.
look. I just did a commercial where I pretended to be, or I did a little scene where I pretended to be like the Kool-Aid Man, and another one I was a henchman that doesn't speak. Listen, I'm not saying I'm being typecast,
cool.
but this is what society thinks the new Kool-Aid Man could look like, and or a henchman that looks like he's murdered somebody. That's true. I get it.
Hence why I'm not an actress.
That's the thing is, listen, that doesn't mean that you can't believe in yourself. Just because I look like my vocabulary stops at unga bunga wheel, unga bunga fire, doesn't mean that I shouldn't read a book, I shouldn't try and learn, I shouldn't try and make myself a better person. And I think we're forgetting that the work that we put in ourselves is what we get to keep forever, and we get to share that with everyone we interact with. And we forget that our own personal growth, if we limit it, it only makes us suffer alone, instead of progressing and becoming the best person we can. And it's something that I do feel strongly about, and that's not to say to expose yourself constantly, to be raw with your emotions and your feelings. It's more so that know that you can sleep with yourself at night, that you haven't done something against your own will or perspective or feelings or emotions, and it's not an easy thing. It's a journey that is worth traveling, and we have to hold on to it, or when we lose it, it may be gone forever and we won't know how to get it back. Yeah, I think that's what I want to say today.
I like it. It's a good one.
Let's
It's a good one. Well said. Well put together, well articulated, Dino. It was very good for us hoity-toity people to put together. Or us common folk, too. Us simple folk got it, too, Dino. Don't worry.
We're both in basements. We're fucking losers. Fucking hell. No, you know what? That's the worst part about it. Is like, it's not like we're something important. We're just people, right? And you know what, guys? Listen. We really appreciate...
Yeah, we are all
absolutely.
just
We appreciate
people.
all your support, guys. We are trying to record
Yes.
every day to put out something to entertain you guys. We appreciate you greatly, so please comment, give us feedback, give us pointers. We are doing our best to progress with things and adapt. We're both learning how to do this, but please like, subscribe, share it with your friends.
We're having fun.
You know, share it with your family. Maybe not children, unless they're a little older. They would appreciate it. We pretend to be woke sometimes. Those are good things, but ultimately, we appreciate your support. And
Which is breakfast.
But yeah, no, it's guys, have a great day. And
Wheaties, oatmeal, and Kellogg's, and Extra. You know that cereal, Extra? I remember that. That's what woke me. And those are the cereals. Woke.
So bad.
So, yeah.
Crystal, where can everyone find you?
So nobody will tell me what it means yet.
Don't bother.
Oh, everybody can find me at Morning Motivational Rant on YouTube, Simply Me on YouTube, Crystal Morency, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and Dino.
You can find me, guys, at Dino the Genetic Marvel on YouTube. Hopefully, I'll be adding some new material after this weekend. That'll be very exciting. As well on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I have a fan page for Dino the Genetic Marvel. And as well.
And let's all say good luck to Dino too. Sorry,
well,
but
fingers crossed. The next episode will.
You're gonna.
I will tell you guys how it goes, but ultimately, it's Morning Motivational Rant here and on Instagram. We are looking at making clips. It's in process. We're trying to figure it out. I'm not that smart, people. I'm trying to figure it out. It's taking some time, but.
But he's very articulated.
Sure, why not? Articulated would be like a python moving. I'm articulate is not the same thing. I don't know.
Articulate, that's what I mean. See, now I'm going to get made fun of.
This is the face of an asshole right here. Just, ooh, asshole. That's what it is. So, guys, listen, thank you so much for your support. Please share us. We appreciate the support and any comments by all means. In the meantime, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.
Bye, guys.